Hey everybody, it's Pat Cohan with the THSADA, and for this Director's Cut episode, we're going to take you inside the THSADA Fall Forum. We kicked off with an inspiring message from Dr. Charles Breithaupt, which led into a sponsored reception where we were able to reconnect and talk about our fall so far. Then Monday led into our professional development agenda with sessions like how to scale your impact with AI content and branding, all duties assigned, enhancing athletic spaces with innovation and safety, whistles and wisdom, hot topics, and UIL updates. Before we dive into these sessions, we do want to thank our partner in this episode, and that's Hometown, your trusted partner in growing school revenue with powerful websites, ticketing, and fundraising tools that bring your community together for unforgettable hometown experiences. Thank you so much for everybody that joined us here at Northside ISD. And for those of you at home, we hope you enjoy this THSADA Director's Cut.
The district committees, oh my gosh, they need you so bad. Listen, I would tell you this, if there's somehow you can convince your superintendent to let you be on the district committee instead of the principal, we're much better off. 99% of all the DEC cases are athletics, am I right? Yeah, and 90% of those are what? Changing schools for athletic purposes. Now, if the parents have the portal and they can go whenever they want, you're going to have an exodus every year because your coach is going to have a standard and they're going to be gone. Not because the coach did something wrong, but the kid thought he should be a starter. Now he's going somewhere else. I'll tell you what one of the top coaches in our state told me. And I asked him, how are you going to be this year? We're going to be good unless I lose my quarterback. I said, come on, coach, you got all these kids in here. I know you got, you're number 2, number 3, start anywhere in the state. And he said, I don't have number 2 and number 3. They're somewhere else. Think about that. We don't need the portal in Texas high school athletics. We just don't. Because the rich just keep richer if you do that.
So I implore you, before you take on anything from this whole conference today, audit your time. It's a great exercise. Toggl.com, TOGGL, is free. Do it for 2 weeks. It'll be fascinating to see, wow, I spend 13 hours in meetings. What if I cut down that meeting from 30 minutes to 20? I just gained 3 hours on the back end of that. Right? You guys are all in here for the long haul. And so having that long-term mind with your time, can I cut this down to a 7-minute meeting? A 7-minute check-in, just a quick one. Don't even come to my office. We'll pop on this auto Zoom link. I meet with my staff every day at 9 a.m. and it's 15 minutes. Pop in, what do you got? What do you need? Who's gonna do that? Great, out the door. Every day. That constant touch, it's more like a drip line theory instead of a dowsing theory to your plants. By giving that everyday contact, it really helps to your main people. So figuring out a way to, building a better system for your time is gonna be huge for anything you try to add.
I want to make sure that when someone has done a great job, that I tell others about it. Even if that person may not know it, if I'm in a room with leaders in a district, I'm going to shout out whoever, because there's nothing worse than the leader taking credit for something they didn't do. And so I want to make sure that, because we got great people. You know, we have great events. We put on a great event. Well, I'm going to shout out Dr. Bell. If we have a tournament, he's going to do a great job. Romy, she's here. She works with our athletic trainer. She's making sure that we are in compliance. Great job. And you shout them out in public so that people recognize that it's not just you, the leader, that's, because it might be your face, but that there are people behind you that are doing great work. And so I want to make sure that that you share it either verbally, you can put it in an email, I tweet it out. I'm still a tweeter. And just to make sure that they know that they're being seen and that they're being appreciated. And I use that word quite frequently. You are appreciated.
Probably facilities has been one of the biggest struggles in my 13 years in athletic administration, especially when I was an assistant. I was like, why can't we get our fields mowed, and why can't we get them lined on time? And we've got this going on, and it's just a constant thing. And I know someone in the earlier panel talked about relationships and family and things like that. And so what we've tried to do is try to bring in our maintenance and facility department and build those relationships with them, because we know that they can be our partner in this, or they can make things really difficult for us if they want to drag their feet and not work with us. There's been several occasions where we've had elevators go down on game nights, and they have been very good to get us up and running. There's been times where we've had pipes burst in the middle, or plumbing. I think Deb had to deal with no bathrooms at the stadium on the night of the first football game. And so we were having to walk patrons into the field house to go to the restroom. And so again, maintenance and facilities is very, very important to our jobs. And it's probably not the one thing we want to focus on all the time, but when we do it for the kids, we make sure that they are prepared and ready to play.
How can officials share feedback with schools or athletic directors in a way that strengthens the working relationship?
So we actually rolled this out a few years ago. So everyone knows about incident reports, the negative things that go on. We get thousands a year. So our athletic staff, we were just tired of seeing all the negative things happen. So we rolled out a good sportsmanship reporting form. This is the third year of it. I think the first 2 years we had about 150, 200 submissions, and it's good. It's really asking our officials to highlight those schools who are doing things the right way, because we hear about all the bad, but we know there's a lot of good that does happen. And so this year it's really ramped up, just through volleyball, football, a few water polo, but primarily football and volleyball. We've already seen hundreds of these reports, and hopefully a lot of you in this room have gotten to see them, because once we receive them, our staff is sending them out to the school district, copying the superintendent, copying the AD, the coach that was mentioned. And it's really just allowing our officials to spotlight those people who are doing things the right way, and that positive reinforcement amongst one another. It's been really good.
We almost lost a kid last year. And I will tell you, if they hadn't practiced over and over and over their plan, then it would have been a different conversation. Kid got kicked in the neck. This was soccer kid. And as soon as one of his teammates saw blood, he knew that something was wrong. And he knew something was seriously wrong because they had worked on it. And he did exactly what he was supposed to do. Coach was near, he got coach. Coach called 911, coach called 911, got the ambulance there. This becomes real to you when you're in the hospital at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and the doctor walks out of our operating room and tell you that I've done all I can do. There's nothing else I can do. And standing in that room and being with those parents and hearing that doctor say that, it was tough. But to know that kid is now back at school, walking, talking, don't know if he'll be able to ever play sports again, but to know that he's still alive means so much. And so I use that. There's a real live example, and I use that as to our other coaches to let them know this is nothing to play with, right? This is serious. And if that would have been any time wasted, again, that we would be talking about a different conversation here, because the kid wouldn't have made it.
You know that we focused on sportsmanship, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but I want to end today before I turn it over to Grace, and I want to tell you, and this was talked about in the last session, the importance of repeatedly practicing your EAPs. Guys, we have had 3 athletes pass away since the school year has started. 3 in different areas of the state, different sports, etc. Okay, in all cases, one thing that, as tragic as that is, one thing that has been heartening to hear is that the staffs that were involved with taking care of those kids absolutely did everything by the book and executed their emergency action plan with great integrity. Now, you need to think about what your staff would do, what you would do if you were placed in the position of having to take care of someone that might possibly be passing away right before your eyes. Stuff like this happens on a daily basis, and I would ask, if anything, if you hear nothing else that we say today, to redouble your efforts with your staff to make sure that they're prepared to execute these emergency action plans with great integrity. And the only way that I know how to do that is to practice that on a regular basis.